Hey guys, how is it going? So this is kind of off the record, but I will say this is Tina with Next Up Streaming, as you know. And I wanted to go over backgrounds because a lot of people have been asking me this. Do I do green screen or background? As you can tell, I obviously don't do green screen. And these are kind of my thoughts on it in the long run, like the whole everything, it is a streamer's preference whether or not they want to do a background or a green screen. I think both background or green screen have great pros and cons to each, and this is what I've learned, and this is what I feel, and what has worked and what hasn't worked for me. The great thing about green screens is it in the overall like picture of everything, it's cheaper, especially because you could go get like a green sheet from the dollar store, or a green tablecloth, or you can get like even the green poster board, all the way up to getting a really nice Elgato, pop-up green screen stand. But it's still going to be cheaper in the grand scheme of things. It's a lot less upkeep. It's usually a lot smaller. And also, it's great for like if you have a background that you can't control. If you have an entire like bedroom behind you or an entire house behind you. With that being said, don't be afraid to look at what's in front of you. Is there a wall in front of you? A lot of people don't think about this, but if you flipped your table around and put the wall behind you, that opens up a whole new area for you to have a background, or a whole new area for your green screen. It's just a natural reaction to put a table up against the wall or a desk up against the wall, but you're putting all this space behind you. It might be hurting you more than helping you. But with a green screen, you can control your background if you're like, well, I don't want to flip it around, or I can't flip it around for whatever reason. And this is why I use a green screen. Awesome. Then that's fine too. You can kind of control the background. So with it being cheaper and being able to control a background, those are definitely the pros for it. And I guess the con would kind of be like, it's kind of annoying for me when I'm watching a streamer and like they're wearing like a shirt and there's like a green logo on it, and it's like it's transparent, or like they're moving, and like the green screen setup is like weirdly playing off them, and that's just maybe me nitpicking, but I feel like it almost cheapens all the hard work you're doing with having a really great camera and a really great setup. Is like, you can't hold anything up that's green, and you got to be careful what you wear, and I don't know. And sometimes it's awkward when there's like just an arm. And another thing too, what some people will do, they'll get the painter's tape, the green painter's tape, and you could tape the entire thing to completely get that out too. So that's something to keep in mind, but also like, how does it look for you? The reason why I've decided to go with the background, because even if I can't control it, because on the other side of this is actually an entire living room. It may look like, if people think like, oh, I have my own room, or I'm actually in a little corner. The kitchen's here. I have the living room. There's a hallway right there. I have two roommates that come by. Actually, I think I can move this a little bit. We're currently packing, so it's a hot mess in there. But there's a whole entire room behind me, and people don't realize that because I do that, and they're like, oh wow, like it's such a professional room, and I'm like, if you only knew. So make do what you have. Now, this is why I have a background, and I'm going to explain it. This is probably going to be a long video, but I think if you do decide to have a background, it is very important what you put in your background. There some big things you should start out with is color. You should make sure you stick with your color scheme. My color scheme is blues and oranges. So a lot of my big pieces are orange or blue, or the sheet that I covered the back of these shelves with, or in the bottom, blue. I tried to get some different blues with some fake flowers here, and make sure the orange is balanced. So make sure the blue and orange is like equal. I knew the chair would be a lot with blue, and I knew the microphone would be a lot with blue. So I made sure I have, I have foxes there, and I have orange and blue here. So your colors, the two colors that you're really, really using, you want to kind of get items that will be involved. I mean, I went to Marshall's during Halloween, and they had skulls, and there was like a teal skull, and I was like, yo, that's fucking badass. Hell yeah, right? Um, or the same thing, like a blue vase, you know, and I went and I found a little fox statue off of Amazon. Or a pillow, you know, like, and even if my mascot wasn't a fox, I would have found like orange vases or orange flowers. Like, I would have found something to balance the blue and the orange. So right off, color scheme is very important. Now, does everything have to be your correct color? No, it really doesn't. Because one, that's impossible, and that really also really confines what you can put. And sometimes it'll look a little too sterile, a little too set-like. So don't be afraid to obviously have other colors too, but like, make sure you have everywhere, you know, something like a little blue, a little orange, orange, blue. Like, every shelf has, I believe almost every shelf, blue, orange. I think Tony Stark's the only one that doesn't have, but he has the sheet in the back and the fox up top. So color is very important because it really like ties it together. Color ties it together. Then on top of it, theme is very important. Obviously, foxes are a theme for me, and I had a sheet. Actually, I took it down because I'm starting to pack for my move. But you guys know that like the starry background is also part of my theme, so I had this on the wall. So I had like a little starry background. And then also, like, I really like to tie a lot of naturey stuff in. That's why I have like these fake plants and the fake grass, and you know, and there's some fake plants back there. I like to just tie in like a nature, space, fox theme, and that's kind of where I went with that. Now, once you have a little bit of your theme and a little bit of color, where do you go next, right? This is the beautiful part about having a background, is you get to tell a story about yourself as a person through imagery, and it will either spur conversation, or it will kind of have people getting to know you a little bit more than like they or yourself would have ever even touched on. So I am going to go over everything I have and why, because this is a very, 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 everything I've placed is there for a reason. None of this, and I guess this is also for you, it is a set. This is not storage. This is not living storage. This is not, you know, this is, everything is very particularly placed. I mean, I have like 30 Funko dolls, but I took only specific ones. I have, you know, a bazillion pieces of LARP armor, but I only took one specific thing. This is a living set, and it's not like a place for you to store like magazines and to store, you know what I mean? Like, you want to have balance. Now, if you have a huge Funko Pop collection, fine. If you want to show it all, but like I said, why tell like one little story when you can tell a whole entire series of stories? Okay, so over here we got my LARPing helmet, which brings up so many questions. Oh my god, like, that helmet's badass. What do you do? It leads into my SCA. It leads into my LARP history. I love talking about that. People love learning about armor and helmets and things like that. You got the fox bank, which is just a cute little fox, and it's very obvious to tell it's a fox. So it's right there, because I'll be sitting like this, and I want that fox right there. So they're always in their head, you know, imagining that fox. The next shelf, you got Wonder Woman. I love Wonder Woman. And like I said, I have bazillions of Funko Pop dolls. I have a bazillion of different statues, but I decided, let me take one core thing that I love and let me really show how much I love it in multiple different ways. So I have multiple different, you know, just Superwoman. That's the theme, Superwoman. I have two little planters I found. I thought they were adorable with foxes. That pulls in the fox theme. And I actually have books. Books is a great, you know, starter too. Like, oh, what do you read? And some people recognize them right away. It's the Throne of Glass series. And they're like, oh my god, like, you start talking about that. And people like that you're a reader, and people like that you're into Funko Pop. And I mean, even the little foxes are cute. Over here, now this is always behind me, so it's a little less important. This is kind of random filler. We have a random vase to pull the blue together. We have a random plant to pull that together. I have a cute little fox that not a lot of people see, but when they do, they're like, oh, it's so cute. I have my TwitchCon pass, which like a lot of people don't see, but it's kind of nice to just have something there with Twitch. I have a blue fox statue, which is actually kind of hard to see. I probably would change something up there, and I have another plant. On this side, I have Mr. Tony Stark, which has spurred so many conversations, and I love Tony Stark. So I figured it would be funny to pose him in a funny sort of way to spur a conversation, have people laugh. Oh, he's staring at me. And he does have a salt lamp that I used to turn on, and there used to be an ongoing joke that it was a dragon egg, and a lot of streamers were using it, but it kind of became old news. So I mean, like, I might even like not have the salt lamp, but what I would do is I normally would turn it on really low, to just draw the eye to Tony or have it behind my head. And then I have like just a Fox picture. I got another Fox mug. I got a sippy cup that was given to me by one of my favorite viewers. I threw that up. You can't even really tell, right? But like, it's still blue and orange. And this stuff is always behind me, so it's not as important, but I wanted to show people, like, the Fox theme continues. I wanted my viewers to see the sippy cup. A lot of times people tease me about not having a lid because I spill my drinks all the time, and that's where I get to tell them, like, oh, one of my viewers actually bought me a sippy cup, but it's really small, so I can't really use it. So up top, obviously we have another Fox that's wearing a pair of Twitch glasses. People, it's all about comedy, right? People laugh, they think it's cute, they ask about it. I tell them, you know, about my trip to Twitch because that's where I got my glasses. That spurs a whole nother conversation. Obviously we have all my Origami Foxes. Every new subscriber gets an Origami Fox. And without me having to say, people constantly ask, oh my gosh, what's that? And, you know, so many times I'm like, oh, if you're a sub, you get an Origami Fox. Instant. I get like 2 or 3 subs out of it. So if you have some way to show your love for your subs, if you have some theme going on, have it visible because people are going to ask about it. They're going to be like, what is that? You know what I mean? And then when you're celebrating your sub and you're putting it up there, once again, people are like, oh, I want that, you know, and they want that. So, you know, and I have over 360 subs right now, and obviously you only see the front row. And it's not super important that you need to show every single one, I've learned. But like, you know, the action of creating it and writing their name on it and making it special and putting it up there, you know, and even teasing them like, oh, you better not unsub. I'm going to have to throw it in the shredder, you know, like a joke, you know, and people laugh. They love it. Comedy is good. People, if you're making someone smile, they're going to want to keep coming back. They're going to want to talk. And just some random grass because I wanted to hide. There's a door right there that my roommates walk in and out, and sometimes they stand there, and I didn't want like the tops of their heads to be seen. So I just threw some more grass up there. Obviously, Hufflepuff flag. I'm a proud Hufflepuffian, and you know, that's there for conversation starters. You can't really see it because the Next Step streaming logo's there. I have a follower goal. I've had this follower goal with me since the very first day, and I keep updating it. And it's great because you can utilize different layers of your stream. So you have your overlay, which has some goals, and then you have your actual physical background, which might even have like a little extra goal. It's just a reminder to people, you know, almost like on a whole different subconscious level that like, oh, like she is still paying attention to follow. She still does have a follow goal. So I put that up. Now this does light up. Right? And I lit it up and I got super excited when I bought it. I was like, it's going to be so cool having a light up sign behind me, and it's going to look great. I lit it up. Couldn't read it. Not only couldn't they read the text at all, but it was like weirdly washing me out because it was blowing the camera off because it was like light from behind. And I'm guessing like either the light wasn't strong enough or when I would turn my light on to be stronger, it didn't even look like it was lit up then because like it was so bright on it and to see the letters. So I actually just have turned off the lights inside. I mean, I even like dimmed the lights a little bit. It didn't look good, you know? So as I was a little bummed about it in my brain, I had this great idea that I want to light up this sign and really bring attention to it. And it didn't work. It was unreadable. Then I have a few more things, a few more Fox things, a few more plants. This was a gift to me. Somebody just gave me another, arm because this one is actually getting worn out. And it's starting, my mic keeps drooping. So somebody got me another one. I got another pillow. I got my origami paper here because a lot of people ask for the colors. But that is overall what's going on. Oh, and then I didn't even do the bottom row. See what I mean? I knew this was gonna be long. Once again, blue and a foxy. That was my first fox mascot before I moved to the bigger stuffed animal. Gigi Sups, who is my first and biggest sponsor right now. I ordered their stuff. I ordered the stuff. It came in this box. I was like, perfect, right? Like a little subconscious poking there. Excuse me. I got books again. I got a Fallout figure because I freaking love Fallout. I got my personal mug with my logo on it. That's kind of sitting there. I have a few other things kind of there. Some of the young girls that I have, they made me Origami Foxes. I put them there now for safekeeping, but when I move, they're going to be like more at attention. I got more books, because I love reading. Reading's a huge part to my life. And then, yeah, I did cover the bottom before. So obviously I got the poster and, a few little knickknacks. So with that being said, every single piece is put there to spur conversation, to show them a little bit about me. Because I have lots of aspects about me that I want to share with people. That also being said, you never want it to get messy. You never ever want to overwhelm these shelves. You want to make sure that at a quick glance they can actually see what it is. I mean, even these two shelves are a little too busy for my taste. I would probably take the books out and put something else there. And it's all about balance, putting a shorter thing with a taller thing, a smaller thing in front of a basic thing that with a vase. It's almost like interior design to get that nice flow, that feng shui that's pleasing to the eye. You want a nice flow. You don't want shelves packed with crap. You don't want things shoved in there. You don't want it overwhelming, because the same thing I tell you guys is when you have goals, if you have too many goals, if you have too many sponsors, people get overwhelmed and they don't want to focus on any one thing and they leave. If you have a nice flowing shelf that is still very open, it's going to engage people. It's going to pull people in. They're going to be like, oh my God, is that a blue skull behind you? Or, oh my gosh, I think I saw Tony Stark peeking out when you moved. That opens up a conversation. And this one, it's not for storage. Like, I have 2 or 3 pieces there. I got 2 pieces there. Like, you should not be packing these shelves. It is very, very, very important. Too many times people will have a background and they'll have crazy posters and messages and lights and things are flashing, and it's too much. It's too busy, and you want to have it really organized, have it build up around you. And your camera placement is really important. If you're only gonna see like from here up and all this background, that's not even. Like, you want your person to be in the middle of it, and you want it surrounding you, kind of like Halo. So you want it surrounding you. You want a nice balance. And you want to tell a story. You want to tell a story that kind of spurs conversation. You don't want the ending. People are going to ask like, oh, what's that? Or, oh, what's that? Or, oh, you like Wonder Woman. Oh, you like Fallout. Oh, Gigi Steps. It spurs conversation. And then you finish the conversation as the streamer. I'm trying to think. I think that pretty much is it. Be careful with lighting. Obviously, I don't have any lighting behind me. When I move, I'm really considering getting like the blue LED lights, and I want to put them on the back of the shelves to maybe light up the back a little bit. But it's all about experimenting, because I don't want it to be overwhelming. I don't want it to overpower anything. And I also don't want it to throw off the balance that I have going with lighting, because people are there still to see you. They're there. And if your light is so bright behind you that it's like shadowing you, it totally screws everything up. And then you'll turn your front light up higher, and then it won't even look like you have lights on the background. And then you just wasted all that time and money on lights that aren't even doing anything. And I thought about ideas like when someone subs, like having a button and having the lights flash or something, or going all out. And I will be experimenting more when I move and have like my own office to kind of experiment. But yeah, so guys, quick rundown. Make sure you're sticking with your theme. Make sure you're sticking with your colors. Make sure it is telling a story and it's not overwhelming people. Make sure it is more of a set piece than a storage piece. Make sure it surrounds you and your camera is going from like belly button, chest area up. Instead of, I know some people just do their shoulders up. It's going to be way too much background and people, it's not going to be balanced really well. Make sure your lighting is still balanced. Yeah, and pay attention to what you put on your shelves. Make sure it does pertain to you, not just something you kind of like. You want something that you're passionate about because it's going to spur conversation and people love that. If you have something for your subs, put it up there. It sells itself. Put your sub stuff up there. If you don't have something for your subs, I definitely recommend looking into something that you can physically make or physically post up or something. It has shown, it has proven that the amount of subs that you get when you actually have something physical to make and put their name on is so much more. Obviously, I don't have specific numbers yet. We're looking into it. But you're gonna notice right away. People are gonna be like, "Oh, I want one," you know? Like who doesn't? When you see me making an Origami Fox, people want them. They just want an Origami Fox. So hopefully that helps a little bit. The background can be overwhelming, so sometimes people just green screen it, and that's okay too. There's days where I feel like I should be green screening it, especially when I play certain games and I'm hiding a lot of information. I do recommend having different cameras. I probably can show you. So right now when I'm playing a game, it's the full screen, right? Or I mean, not, I take that back. When I'm talking to people and it's my informational screen, it's the whole entire background. This is where they get everything. This is like step into my office and let's just chat it out, right? But when I'm playing games, I cut a lot of it out and I focus on me. And that's something too, is sometimes people leave all that background and that you don't want that. You want to focus on the game. You want that balance because you don't want to hide too much of the game. So that is just something to keep in mind when you are moving between screens and you do have a background, because a green screen, it's always, you know, you and whatever behind you, and that's fine. But when you have a background, you don't want that background to be completely taking up a lot of space with your game, because it's going to annoy people and people are going to be like, well, I can't see the game and I can't see this, and you're going to get frustrated trying to move your camera around. So just make sure you cut off the ends, just get you in as close as tight as you can. And this way, make yourself bigger. Like, people want to see you. They want to see your reactions. They want to get to know you. Don't be afraid to make yourself bigger, okay? Yeah, wow, longest video ever. Hopefully this has helped. Please, ask me questions. If you are setting up a background, shoot me pictures, send me pictures, and I can help. I could say, oh, you might want to move this, or maybe you should buy something of this color to throw there. And I don't even mean like anything expensive. Like I said, I went to TJ Maxx and I bought this vase for, I think it was like $2.50, right? But it looks good. It's like a little extra pop. And you never want to have like empty areas too, I guess I should say too. And that ties back to the balance. You want to have really nice balance and flow. You don't want any empty spots, and you don't want clutter. Make sure sometimes when I'm eating or like doing stuff, I will clutter up these tables, and every night, I need to put stuff away and make sure it looks clean and professional for the next stream. All right, guys. So like I said, good luck. Shoot me any pictures if you have any questions. Ask me if you have any questions. If you want to go with green screen, go for it. Don't hesitate. I think having a background is awesome. That's why I've picked having a background, because it tells a story and adds more to the entire scene. And I have found when I'm watching streamers, I really liked seeing a little of their world. So maybe deep down you hate seeing that. Maybe you just want to see the streamer. That's okay too. Both ways are good, and that's why I said from the very beginning, it is the streamer's preference. There is no 100% right way and 100% wrong way. There's two different ways, and you just got to make sure you do it correctly. If you do a green screen, make sure that it's balanced correctly. Make sure you're aware of it and not wearing green. And if you want to tape your microphone and the stand, go for it. It'll make it look a lot more crisp. And yeah, guys, good luck. Look, it's a lot more detailed than you would think it would, and it really ties in. It really ties into making that whole entire packaged absolutely professional. And we all know that people, when they see a professional completed package, it really inspires them to invest more than something that is just kind of fly by the night, really just thrown together, because there's so many channels that are just haphazardly thrown together and people are wishing that something will work out. We're better than that. We're gonna be giving them a full professional feel, and that includes a background. All right, guys, have a great night. Good luck with everything, and I'll talk to you later.